ands in my life. So I'm going to start with, I'm a mom. I've got two teenagers, that's by far my favorite job that I get to do. I'm also run a mortgage company. So I'm the EVP of Paramount Partners Group here in Northern California. So I've been in the mortgage industry for about 20 years. And then I really got into personal growth and development, in late 2003, early 2004. And I got in because I was really successful, and I didn't feel like it. So what was going on the outside, the big house, the money, the trips, and the clothes and the cars and everything else all looked great. But I didn't feel great. And I really just kind of opened up this door to self-exploration to figure out who I really was. And that's where I am today, is I've been there for 15 years now. And it took me a long time before I started sharing my story and strategies. And, I've built what's called Big Voices, which is just a women empowered group, published that book a little bit about a year ago. And really what I like to do is just help women with strategies that are going to help them overcome self-suffering. I see a lot of our challenges are actually ones that we bring on upon ourselves. And I believe in doing that it will give us more energy and more time and space to be able to help the people out there that are really suffering, because there are people that are without choice right now. And we get to really choose how we experience life. And a lot of us forget that. We get wrapped up in what it's like to have all the heaviness of our challenges on us. And we've got to just find a different way. And so I love sharing. I mean, absolutely love sharing. And I'm going to be honest with you, my awakening occurred in my 6,000 square foot house. So it did not come through something tragic. But it came nonetheless. And, I'm grateful to be able to be here and share some of that with you, who I was. I cared so much about what other people thought that I was just constantly trying to impress other people. And I was what you would refer to as a significance holic. Everything was, how do I get up on the billboard? How do I get up on the billboard? And so being in the mortgage industry, there was a lot of accolades for being a top producer. And so I just relished in that before. And so I had to really take an honest inventory of where I was and where I wanted to go. And some of the major ahas that I had were, I just didn't even know what being present meant. So I didn't know what it was like to experience, just that moment. I was constantly worried about what was coming or what had just happened. And so I dipped my toe in the consciousness movement originally, and that kind of opened up a whole new realm of possibility for me. And then as I started to go through it, being very type A and driven, I was like, let's get this personal growth thing done quickly, which does not happen that way. So I had to pull myself back. And what I decided to do was really go deep on what I believed were the biggest challenges that I was having. So, one of them, like disappointment. I was constantly disappointed in other people because they couldn't do things the way that I wanted them to. I mean, for most of us, we're like, life would be beautiful. It would end, suffering would end if everybody just did what I wanted them to. But I had to let that go, and I had to just continuously become more detached and find a way. What I call now, and it's something that I teach and really just speak most on, is how do we maintain joy and suffering simultaneously? Because the problems don't go away. The tragedies, parents getting sick. I woke up this morning to terrible news that one of my friends had passed away. And so those types of things don't ever go away, but it's our ability to see them differently that is really what is unique to the way I live, is that I have to find gratitude in it. He lived a life at a level that most people would never imagine. He was so adventurous, and, he died on an adventure. And it was one of those things where you just have to be able to move through those things instead of, really going down hard, which a lot of people do when things happen. And it could be a situation at work or with your kids or whatever it is. Like, they never end. The problems never stop coming, but we get to choose the way that we experience them. And that's really what I've done